Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dara. I live in Brooklyn, New York, and I am a tropical indoor plant enthusiast. So today I actually just got back from Ecuador, which I made a video about, but this video is about what you should and shouldn't do when you bring a new plant home, and my plant care and how I repot a plant coming home from the store, and how I clean the plant and I check for pests. So I did buy 2 plants. Here is my Alocasia sinuata, and I also bought an Anthurium luxurians. So before I add these plants into my plant collection, I'm going to wash them off, check for pests, check out the root system. I'm just going to show you guys that. It's going to be a simple video, which I think you guys are going to enjoy. Stay tuned. All right, guys, like I said, I told you what I was going to do when I bring a new plant home into this house. Now, this is just my process. I'm not saying that this is everyone's process. Not all plants should be treated equally, but for plants that have a very hardy leaf, like this one, it's thick. What I like to do is, for me personally, I like to repot my plants because I don't like pests. I've had plants that came from growers where they had bugs in the soil, where maybe there was millipedes and I didn't see them, or there was fungus gnats. Next thing you know, I had fungus gnat infestation in my apartment. I don't care what the plant is, and if the plant is stressed, I'm stressed, not knowing what is in the soil and if there's bugs, because no plant is worth bringing into this collection and getting bugs in my apartment, okay? And I've never had an issue after repotting. My plants do well, they thrive. So what I do is I'm going to take this plant and I wash these leaves very thoroughly. Put her in here first. Each leaf is going to get washed. It's also going to get washed down with a little bit of dish soap. I know it's scary, but guess what? It's fine. So wash front and back of the leaves. You want to always make sure you're looking at the back side of these leaves because that's where little pests love to land. The better the big box stores, there's always stuff on these plants. But this is like a small grower. It's like a personalized shop, and I just take a little squirt of dish soap like this, and I literally wash leaves. Now, I don't wash it into the soil, but I'm repotting the plant. I actually do this to my collection maybe once every few weeks because this gets rid of any mite that is sitting on the leaves. I know this is scary for a lot of people, but it's not going to harm your plant. It's very gentle, okay? I try not to do this on the brand new leaf of the plant. I try to do it on the more mature leaves. The like little baby plants, those leaves, I'll do on my own. You can also do insecticidal soaps. Bonadine is a brand that has insecticidal soaps if you're really neurotic and you really want to. I find with the insecticidal soaps and the neem oils, I don't like to leave oils on my plants anymore because I feel like the leaf gets stressed out after, and sometimes my leaves burn doing that. So this has just worked for me lately. I started doing this, and the leaves look so happy and healthy. And you guys got to clean your plants' leaves. It doesn't have to be soap and water. It could just be with water every few weeks, because when you don't, the plant can't photosynthesize. So the plant needs to be dusted, okay? You can't have stuff on these leaves and expect your plants to grow healthy. Now, some people like to leave this on their plant. I don't. I rinse it right off. Try not to get into the soil. And look, I'm being as rough because these leaves are fine. They're hardy leaves. This isn't like even the new leaf is hardy. Now I'm looking, I'm inspecting before I wash this off too. Like, I like to get in there and look. Little bugs hide under leaves. This is just what I do. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Same thing for the Anthurium. Which is my first Anthurium, but I'm just going to treat it like my other plants. And yeah, I'm washing front and back of the leaf off right now, the stems, getting all that soap off. You don't want to leave it on there. Unless you have a plant with like a bad infestation, then I treat the plant a little different. This plant doesn't seem to have any issues. I'm just, you know, being careful. Guys, my Anthurium luxurians is gonna get a little bit of the same treatment. I think that these leaves are so strong. Like, I don't see anything on this plant at all. A little bit dusty. Do a quick little rinse first. There she is. Ooh. She definitely needs to be repotted. She's like falling over. And just gonna do a little bit of a wash, really quick. And inspect the leaves, inspect the undersides. We've got these little petioles. Seeing what's going on. If you guys ever have a plant that gets infested with spider mites, actually washing your plant with your hands like this gets rid of anything on the leaf. I do it a few times. I've had plants that have had spider mites, and this is what my process is. But you don't want to leave it on there long, and you don't want to get it into the soil, like I said. And this is just what I like to do for my plants. Not saying that you should do this. Maybe you're not as experienced as me with plants, and you won't, you know, you're a little nervous and you don't want to rinse it off properly, but listen, I like to get in there, and that's what I like to do for my plants. And I only leave it on for 1 second. Okay. This plant is so like, probably needs water. It's bone dry in there. All right, so for the Anthurium, I'm potting her in the clear orchid pot. See how all the drainage, and I added a little extra perlite to her soil. I named her Liliana because I just liked that name because she's a luxurians and it sounds luxurious. Now look at her roots. They're so pretty and healthy. The soil looks good. I don't see anything crazy in here. So what I'm gonna do is loosen up a little bit of her soil because it's so dry in here. So I'm just loosening a little bit up because she kind of grew into her pot right there. I noticed she has like chunky perlite in here. Wow, yeah. Not gonna mess with her too much, but she definitely needs a repot. Okay, cool. Like that. I'm gonna stick her into her new home. I'll probably end up repotting her in a little while. I just want to kind of get her into something right now and just kind of watch her because I never had an Anthurium before and I'm a little nervous. I don't want to give her something too big, too small. Like, I'm not really sure, guys. So I kind of just want to watch. And I'm also kind of changing her mixture a little bit probably because I don't use orchid bark in the house. She had such a tiny little pot. See, you guys, plants can thrive as long as you're not over watering them, you know? Because she had such a tiny little pot. This is good for now. There we go. I could still see her roots and I can make sure that she's happy. See, there's like an area here that needs to be filled. And you want to make sure you get down in there where there's like no real pockets in there. So just shake it. I feel like I've been repotting all day, making so much content for you guys. I love it though. honestly, this doesn't even feel like work to me. When I was a nurse, I loved being a nurse, but it was stressful. But this just is like such a de-stressful job, doing stuff like this for you guys. So there she is. I'm gonna water her. So here's a little tip for you guys if you're new to planting and you don't want to overwater your plants, or maybe you're possibly underwatering your plants. So in here I have a clear orchid pot in the decorative pot, and I could take it out, and I just watered it so you see it's dripping. But you can actually see when you water the plant, you can see how wet the soil is. So I'll see it go from wet to dry, and all the excess water is going to come out in there, which is good. So, and I can check her roots out and I can see what's going on down there. So for a plant like this, where I just spent $100 on, you're damn right, I'm going to want to check those roots. I'm tired, I need to sit down. I've been potting plants all day, and I still have the biggest plant to pot after this, and I will show you and talk about that in my next video. But we're finishing up the Quilted Dreams. Look at that, beautiful, beautiful, healthy, delicious plant. When I put them in, I fill around. I want it to be even, shaking that new dirt right down to the bottom. Checking for stuff. I didn't take her old soil off because the plant looked healthy. I didn't see any bugs or any pests. I also treat my plants indoors with systemic granules to kill any fungus, gnats, or anything that possibly could be living in soil. Now, move this plant over a little bit. Okay guys, and there we have it. All nice and repotted, all cleaned. Did my plant care that I do every time I take a plant home. She looks beautiful. Still need a name for this plant. And Liliana, the luxurians. She looks great in her new pot. So I hope that you guys liked this video. I hope that you learned something today about plants. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Have a blessed day.